My street artist name, or the graffiti writer name, what I traditionally like to refer to myself as, is Such Styles. I'm from out here, from Arizona. Been doing this since 1983, and it's been an adventurous journey. I had read this book called Getting Up by Craig Castleman, and it talked about these kids in New York that were doing their artwork on subway cars, and it was traveling around throughout the boroughs, and it wasn't done with permission, and they were risking a third rail that could cause them death if they touched it. Of course, running around, dodging the police, and then of course probably taking heat from their families, for what they were doing. But it really intrigued me for the art aspect. I'm like, these kids are pouring into something, and they're not getting anything in return, but they're doing it for the love of it. Well, I was involved in art, so I went into my dad's garage and found a derelict spray can, and I went out in the alley, sketched a character called the Devious Duck, a little character with a crown, and walked down a block, and I looked at my rendering and had my can in my hand. Let me switch it because I'm left-handed, and I did this character, and lo and behold, I'm like, I can do this. And so that's where it all started. There was a documentary called Style Wars that came out, so I was able to see it in motion, in video. And the documentary itself, even to this day, is historical. And it propelled me even beyond. And so I was bit. I had this, what my son says, you had a virus in you. And I just kind of took off with it. My oldest son had been more exposed to what I'm going to call the gulliness of me going out and getting up and doing work for strictly the love of it. And I still do it for the love of it, but there was more. I had more of an ambition, of a goal in mind, more of a selfish ambition, to be truthful with you. So he got to see some of that. I would go and hit trains up. I would take him with me. He was like 2, and so his playground was the rail yard. I have images of him playing around, running in front of the trains, and the trains have artwork that are dated, so it wasn't made up. It certainly happened.
I mean, growing up, I would see him paint, and that's all I thought it was just, like, everyone knew what that was. If graffiti was graffiti, then it was just a part of painting, and that's what it was. But it wasn't until I hit 5th grade that I started realizing, oh, this is actually a little bit more, And that was when I watched the film, or more like I watched his film, Style Wars. And when I say his, it was in his little rack. I was grounded, and I was allowed to only watch documentaries. So the one I pick is Style Wars, and I see everything.
He just started excelling in it, and to this day we work on productions together, and now he's like that line from Star Wars, the pupil has become the master, and now I lean on him.
That's just where the collaboration has fun. He'll do that piece, and that's where I come in, put things over it, and then he'll say, hey, put this over here. And I'll say, no, it has to go right here. And he'll say, okay, well, if it's going here, let's throw this here. And I say, all right,